So today we are looking at the Ubuntu 22.04.5 LTS. So here is the boot menu. Let me quickly boot it in the live boot. So this is the fifth and final point release of the Ubuntu series, Jammy Jellyfish. So here is our boot loading screen. So about the country of origin of Ubuntu, it's Isle of Man, and the desktop environment you get is the GNOME desktop environment. You already know about these things, and the main things in this release is the Linux Kernel 6.8, and also the booting process will take like 2 or 3 minutes usually, because I'm running it on the VirtualBox, which is 60 GB of virtual disk, 8 GB of RAM, and my CPU is i5 1240p. So here is our desktop layout. It automatically loaded. So I thought it will be consuming like 2 or 3 minutes, but so that's the sound of the Ubuntu. So it was completely loaded just in a few seconds, not even a minute. So here is our language selection. I'm going to choose the live boot first. So I'm going to go through all the main important things. So in this release, the kernel you get is 6.8, and also Ubuntu 2.04.5 LTS ships with the Mesa 23.2.1 stacks. That was also included in the Ubuntu 22.04.4 LTS version. So it's still taking a few seconds, and here is our desktop layout. So let's open the system monitor. So you already know how much of resource it consumes because you're already using the Ubuntu version of previous point release. So let's first change the display settings. So let's change it to 1920 into 1080, which is my monitor. So here is also the fractional scaling. Let's click apply. Let's first show you the Linux kernel version. Let's scroll it down. Let's go to the about, and here you can see all the information. Like a memory, I'm using 8 GB, and graphics, here is the LLVM pipe, and device name, I'm running it on the VirtualBox. Disk is 60 GB, and the version is 22.04.5, and the GNOME version you get is 42.9. Windowing system, here are software updates. So let me first show you the Linux kernel. So before that, let's check the system monitor, how much of resources it's consuming. So these are all the processes running right now. So there is one thing I want to point out, that in the virtual machines it will be having some issues like hiccups here and there, but in the bare metal it's going to perform way better. So don't judge by looking in the virtual machines. So it will be performing way better in the bare metal. So it's having some hiccups here and there in the virtual machine, so try to ignore all those things. So it's consuming 1.4 GB, cache is like a 6.3 GB. Here is our CPU. So you just need to run it like a minute, like 60 seconds, and you should be seeing whether the graph of CPU is pretty much stable or not. So it's pretty much stable, like 40 seconds. So when you run it to like a minute, you should be seeing properly. So let me open the terminal. Let me first show you the kernel version, and we can go through downloading and all those things. So let's make it bigger. Let me type in neofetch. So command not found. You can install neofetch and all those things. First let me show you the Linux kernel version. So you get 6.8.0-40. You can just type in uname-r and you should be seeing the Linux kernel. So let me go to the official website by launching the Firefox. So the graphics you get for Mesa 23.2.5 graphics stacks, that was also already mentioned that it is also included in the 22.04.4 LTS also. So let's close everything. Let's check the version about Firefox. So here is the version. So this is the latest version of the Firefox, stable version, which is already available in the website of Firefox. So let me type in about support. So let me show you some distro info. and also some browser information. So version is 130, browser name is Firefox, distribution ID Canonical, Mozilla, the user agent. So the kernel version is right here, Linux 6.8.0. So let me type in Linux kernel. Let's go to the official website of Linux kernel and get all the information. So here you can see this is the official website or the link to go to the Linux kernel. Just type in like a www.kernel.org, or else you can just type in Linux kernel in the search engine. So here are all the available Linux kernel. So the RC7 or the release candidate mainline is 6.11, stable version is 6.10.10, and these are all the long-term version. For the releases, you can just click on the releases and get all the information of the Linux kernel. So here is some of the description, and also you can search it by, I already showed you like a uname-r, and you should be getting the kernel information. So these are all the information of the Linux kernel, and the theme is Yaru. Here is all the information. When you scroll it down, you should be seeing the 7.8 GB of RAM. I already mentioned 8 GB of RAM I'm using for the virtual machine or the virtual box. Here is the disk space available. Here is some browser information or some other information. You can just pause the video and read everything there. And here is some Mesa information, 23.2.1, which I already mentioned in the beginning. So it's also available in the 22.04.5 LTS. So when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing some additional information like window protocol, X11, desktop environment is GNOME. Here is the version, and when you scroll it down, you should be also seeing the monitor resolution. So here are some other information. You can just pause the video and read everything according to you. If it's important, you can pause the video and read everything, or you can just skip this part. So let's go and search the Ubuntu. So I'm going to show you the downloading process now. Just type in Ubuntu 22. So here it's already available, which is 22.04. Just type in like a 0.5. So here is the ISO file. Just type in like a Ubuntu and all those things. So here is all the information. Just type in like a download. And about the system requirements, I'm going to go through all those things. Just download Ubuntu desktop, and you should be seeing the version of 22.04.5. So here is the latest version, which I already made a video on it. You just need to scroll it down. So there is no version here, but you can search it. Let me show you that. So this is the version I recommend to use because it has 5 years of support. If you don't know any information, I already made a video on it. You can get the information there. So discover Ubuntu desktop, download Ubuntu desktop. So let's wait. So here are all the information. So I'm just going to search it here to get the information. Ubuntu .22.04.5. So here you should be seeing all the information. Let's click on Ubuntu releases. And here are all the available information. So standard support 22.04.5 LTS. The code name is Jammy Jellyfish. Let's click on it, and here is our ISO files. So the Ubuntu 22.04.5 LTS brings a freshly spun installer image ISO that includes all of the software security and stability updates released since the last ISO was made. So this cuts down on the number of updates that have downloaded after installing the OS. So here you can download the ISO file, which is Ubuntu 22.04.5 desktop AMD. So just click on the ISO file and you should be downloading the ISO file here. And let me talk about the updating process. So if you're already using the Ubuntu 22.04 LTS, you don't need to download the new point release ISO and do a fresh install to get any of the fixes or app updates included. So you don't need to download the new ISO file. And the Linux kernel 6.8 and new graphics driver stacks has already rolled out to the existing users. So if you're already using the Ubuntu, you can just update as a standard software update. So go run the software manager to get those things if you already done it. So just skip it. If you don't, just do that thing. And although this is the final planned point release, which I already mentioned in the beginning, so this is the 5th point and also the final point release in the Jammy Jellyfish series ongoing support. So it does not end anytime soon. Like it has like a 3 years, like until the 2027. So the Ubuntu 22.04 is supported until 2027 on the desktop with security coverage beyond that data provided via Ubuntu Pro. So this data is provided by Ubuntu Pro, but in my case, but I highly recommend you to install the Ubuntu LTS release, which is Ubuntu 24.04.1 LTS, which I already made a video of all its flavors in my channel. Because it will be supported for 5 years until June 2029, which I already mentioned in the beginning and also in the videos. And also it includes more modern new Linux technologies and software. So that's the reason I highly recommend the 24.04.1 LTS version. And now about the updating. So you can update via the software updater utility or by running the command, which is sudo apt and then sudo apt full upgrade in the terminal. And also, of course, you can also upgrade from Ubuntu 22.04 LTS to Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So these are all some of the information of the Ubuntu 22.04 LTS. So now let's check the system requirements. Let me type in Ubuntu system requirements. You can find it in the 24.04.1 LTS downloading thing. So let me show you. So here it says all the information of the system requirements, but it's not the proper information. You just need to go to the version of the 24. Let me show you. So here is the version, and about the system requirements you can so let me go back and get those information. Let's go back, and you should be seeing the version of the 24.04. That is the exact system requirements. So here is all the system requirements of 24 or the all the Ubuntu things. So you need to have like a 2 GHz dual core processor, 4 GB of system memory, 25 GB of free disk. Here is all the system requirements. I already showed you the downloading process and all those things. So of the updating, I already mentioned, you just need to type in, you can just update from the terminal, which is sudo apt update and then sudo apt full upgrade, or else you can use the software updater utility tool. So you can do in the both possible things. So here is all the things which I already mentioned. So let's open the terminal. So this is some information. I'm not going to do anything here because it's just a few things. So that's the reason I'm just gave you some information. So there is literally nothing to show here. Those were all the important things which changed in this specific version. So you can just type in like a uname -a for the kernel information. So you should be seeing the kernel information which I already showed you. Just type in inxi -sv8. So you just need to install all those things like inxi and neofetch on your own. But the Mesa thing and the kernel version is changed in this version, so I already showed you. So in order to update, let me show you in the practical. So let me type in all the commands. So you just need to, let me make it bigger first. Let me type in sudo app update and sudo full upgrade. You just need to type in like this, and it will be updated to the latest version. I already have the latest version. Let me show you. So already showed you in the beginning. You just need to update like this. So here is our version, or else you can use the software updater utility. So let's go to the settings, and these are all the pre-installed applications you see in the, here is the tools. Let me open all those important things here. Software updater. So we opened all those important things. Let me go to the settings. Here are all the information, software updates. Here is our app center. So here you can get all the information. Here is the Ubuntu software. You can search all the applications. So this is not the important things, so I'm just going to close all those things. So here you can see the software and updates. Here are the updates, authentication, additional drivers, developer options, Ubuntu Pro, and also the system monitor. It is performing like this throughout the video. So you can update by using the utility tool or the terminal. So it's clearly up to you how to update. So these are all the main things of this version. So I'm just going to end the video. So this is the latest version of the 22.04.5 version. So I already posted the Kali Linux 2024.3 version also. If you want to check that out, you can check it out in my channel. So I'll be posting 2 videos daily without missing. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. So that was the video. Thanks for watching. Peace out.